This is my multimeter. I recently purchased it from AliExpress for the grand sum of £1.79. Now, for that kind of price, you can't expect a top-of-the-line instrument. However, this meter is perfectly adequate for the low-voltage desktop electronics that I do on this channel. I was recently trying to use it to confirm the value of a particular resistor, but it was giving me an unusual reading. Let me show you now. So here is a resistor, and this one is 330 ohms. Now you might be able to tell if you look at the color bands of orange, orange, black, black with a brown tolerance band. So that's 330 and 0 additional zeros for 330 ohms. But you might not be able to read the color bands, and on blue-bodied resistors like this, it's often quite challenging. So let's use the multimeter. We simply set this to a range which is above the value we expect. So 200 won't be suitable, we'll use 2000. And we take the probes and we place them against each side of the resistor, like so, and you can see we're just getting a 1, which indicates that we are out of range. We can always test this by putting the probes together, and we can see here that we're still getting a 1. It's showing infinite resistance across these probes. And the reason for that is quite clear. The cable has become disconnected inside the probe. And I find that's kind of a common issue with these low-cost probes. In a previous video, I mentioned that I'd also modified this meter slightly to allow me to put these plugs here directly into these sockets a little bit deeper than they would normally allow. The way I did that was to chop off the piece of plastic that's at the back of these sockets to allow me to put the banana plugs in a little bit deeper and make a more secure connection. But this produces an issue where the rings that you're connecting to may become dislodged, so I warmed them with my soldering iron to secure them in place. And I'm going to open the meter and show you that now. And then we'll go ahead and repair this disconnected probe. So there are just 2 screws just here. And the body comes apart just like so. Now, as you can see here, there are these plugs which sit behind the sockets just here. And all I did was got an old set of my clippers here, these little side cutters, and I just cut them off at a level, as you can see here. They're not all exactly the same, doesn't actually matter, just needed a little bit taken off of each of these. And as I mentioned, that means that these sockets here might become dislodged because they were loose in the retaining ring here. So I just heated up my soldering iron and pressed them firmly on the back of each of these. And you might be able to make out some small blobs of solder, some little minor melting of the plastic. In this case, that was absolutely intentional. We wanted to melt the rings into the plastic holder so that when I push the banana plugs in, that the rings themselves don't move. And we can see here, that sits perfectly fine without them bending. So that's nice and secure. And that has resolved the issue, and now I can use this meter with all manner of banana plugs. So let's reassemble it. When you do so, make sure to put the cable through here and make sure to get it along the slot that's cut out, not to catch the wire. You don't want to cut the wire in half, otherwise you'll need a new meter. Now, as these are self-tapping screws, it's advisable to rotate the screw backwards until it clicks into place, into the thread. And then when you wind it forward, you're following the existing thread rather than cutting a new one. So that avoids damaging the plastic more than necessary. Okay, so what do we need to do to go about fixing this? Again, I'm just going to use an old pair of my cutters here just to gently tease this out. Now, if you look carefully here, this is actually made of 2 pieces. There's a plug of plastic which fits into the meter probe holder. And if we just wiggle it very gently, hopefully we can tease it out. And there you go, you can see where the solder has broken off, where the wire's broken off. So as you can see, these are really quite fragile and don't stand up to much abuse. So let's go ahead and repair the red probe as well. So we're going to want to strip the wire back, and I've got a fancy wire stripper here for that, but you can use any wire stripper you have available. Let's just take the end off here. Turn on our soldering iron. So we're just going to tin these leads. I've got this little wire holder here. It's just a little handy thing to have. So our soldering iron is still coming up to temperature. And we're just going to tin these leads. So we're going to line these up using this wire holder here, but there's a couple of things we need to do first. And we need to make sure we don't forget to slide the probe handle over the wire. Can't get that on afterwards, so make sure to do that now. And so I don't forget on the black one, I'm going to do that one now as well. And the other thing we're going to want is some heat shrink tubing. And so here I've got this one from B&Q of all places. That's a DIY store here in the UK. And what I'm going to do is place some of that over there so that we can try and make this a little bit more secure and strain relief on that connection place. So we're going to cut off a small couple of segments. And again, we need to make sure we feed that over the cable first. And I'm going to slide it right down, right out the way because I don't want to accidentally warm it now. But I'm going to put some on the black wire as well. And we can use my wire holder here to try and line these up a bit and go ahead to connect them. So I'm actually going to nip this off a little bit closer to make the lengths more appropriate. Leave that nice and still until it's set completely. And we can carefully remove this and move our heat shrink tubing over here, right up to the end. And we're going to want to warm that up. And to shrink that down, I'm going to use a regular hairdryer on the hot mode. And you can see that's shrunk right down just around the join there. So let's do our next one. Wipe off the previous contact just here. Line up our wire. We're just going to cut this one down as well. So again, plenty of solder on there. Possibly a little bit too much on this one, in fact. Remove a little tiny amount of that. And we just want to slide this up. And that's still a little bit warm. So slide this up and over there. And again, crack out the hairdryer, making sure we're on hot. Okay, and the black one has shrunk down as well. And we can probably shrink that down a little bit more. Okay, and you can clearly see these have shrunk down now. So all that's left to do is to move the sleeving, the probe handle itself, back over the wire. And we can gently push these in. And we can use our cutters here to push them in nice and flat. Let's remove that bit of flashing while we're here. Why not? Just push them back in until they're flush. And there we go. 2 repaired probe meter handles, and these are much more robust. I mean, I wouldn't tug on them super hard, but I think they're going to be much more robust against just general wear and tear. So let's try this out on here, back in the common, and let's see about testing our resistor. So if we put these together, there we go, getting 0 ohms of resistance, which is what we'd expect. And if we test our resistor here, there we're getting 323 ohms. So for a 330 ohm resistor, I think that'll do just nicely. So it looks like I need to go about changing my battery. I've got a low battery meter icon on here. But other than that, I think this meter's in good shape. So would I recommend this £1.79 multimeter? Well, I don't think it's a top-of-the-range instrument, as I mentioned, but I do think it is probably just fine for basic electronic bench work, and I'm going to continue using it in my videos now I've modified and repaired it. If you'd like to get your own meter, I'll have a link in the description to this meter, as well as to the wire holder that I was just using there to help me repair these meter probes. But for now, that's all I wanted to show you. So I hope you found this video interesting, and I hope to speak to you again soon in the next one.